everyone, it's your friend Thinknoodles, and welcome to Ask Think, episode number 121 from Monday, September 29th, 2014. And let's get right into the question that I asked you guys next week, and that was, for Jack, what would you like to see added to ThinkSlab from a building perspective? And some of you guys put some ideas for ThinkSlab episodes, and I saved those because I love your ideas. That's what I love to see in the comments, is when you guys post ideas, I can usually get inspiration from them or get an idea from your idea for future ThinkSlab. So really, really love that. But let's get on to the building suggestions that you guys suggested. And the first one is from Crystal Pretty Wing, and she says, that's easy. A noodle stand. And it's funny because to you that was like, of course, but nobody else even suggested that. So that's pretty cool that, you know, that you guys have in your head a certain thing and you think it's so obvious, but it's not obvious because other people have other ideas that they think are obvious. So it's really great. Adam and Survival Creeper XD both said a room or a house for Kevin, and Adam O says it's because he deserves it. And I have to say, that's arguable. I don't know if Kevin deserves anything other than a spanking, but no, he's a good minion. But yeah, Survival Creeper wanted to see a house for Kevin because he does have his own room, but it's a little bit small and he's so special. So that's actually not a bad idea either. And also, these are just some of my most favorite ideas. You guys had a lot of really cool suggestions. Hyusung said they would like to see a minion hotel for all the other minions, because that is true. Where do they live? They just live there. They just live in the lab at this point and work all day and all night. Anyway, a few people suggested sort of an anti-lab with a nemesis and an evil villain lair sort of place. JB Lovelace said they would love to see an underground break room where the minions could hang out, and there should also be vending machines, coffee machines, and all of that stuff. Diego Zepeda said a room designed for Kopi, not a bad idea, or maybe a doghouse. Comedy King says, what about a giant banana? Sorry if he spelled it wrong. Chiangnam says to add a garden outside, but not using TNT farming, and it might be nice because most of the mods now are on 1.7. Maybe we could put some of the 1.7 flowers and whatnot into it. Button to the max, would love to see a mighty throne for the Noodle King to sit in. Eileen Regalado said she would love to add to ThinkSlab an amusement park because it'd be so cool, and have a roller coaster and all that stuff. And there is a roller coaster mod, and I really want to do that one because I think only in the last week I've always been checking because I've seen you guys make suggestions for ThinkSlab ideas with the roller coaster mod, but you could build them but not ride them. Until last week, they finally made an update to the mod where you could ride them. So I'm pretty excited to do that one, although Dan did it last week. So I'm going to wait a little bit to avoid the "you copied Dan TDM, he did that mod already" kind of stuff. So, but I do have an idea for it. I've had a storyline for a long time in my head, but I had to be able to ride them. So we'll get to that in a few weeks. Jack Briggs says, in the middle of the lab, way underground, add a nuclear reactor so that it can blow up the lab in one of the episodes with Kevin. That's pretty cool. And then I get superpowers. That's even cooler. Crafty Sergio 11 says maybe a training area for the new minions so they can study and train for the lab if they're new minions. And that's a really cool idea because sometimes I'll make the new minion and they'll run off. And so I drop down to the lab and I'm looking for them and I can't find them, and I have to do another take because I have to find them first. Okay, that's where they are. Go back up to the top and start over. So it would be good to have a little place for them. Widgie6 says more lighting. It's so dark in ThinkSlab. Well, that's always been a thing I've said, but builders are builders, guys, and they like dramatic lighting. So you know, it's brighter than it used to be. A lot brighter, actually. If you guys look back to older episodes compared to now, the lighting is a lot brighter than it used to be, and there's still a little bit of that drama. The next few people suggest one of the more popular suggestions, and you know, like a lot of times when I ask these, there'll be like 10 of the same answer, but there really weren't on this one. But this was one of the most popular, and it was to add a Kopi statue to ThinkSlab. We have Dave, Kevin, and me, and I'm always with Kopi. Why is there no Kopi? And I have no idea. There should be. You guys are right. The other, I mean, it was only suggested a couple of times, but was a big noodle bowl, either on top of the lab or just somewhere with a water slide into it, which would be awesome. Now, Matthew Weaver suggests what I thought was my favorite suggestion, and it's something I wouldn't have even thought of if he hadn't suggested it. So that's what's awesome about this, is a Thinks Lab logo above the entrance. And I don't know if we could build like the letters above it, and I mean the Thinks Lab logo like you guys see in the thumbnails. It might be too big because of the roundness of the letters and everything. It might be too big to put above the lab, but we could put it like on the mountain behind it, or off in the distance when you're looking at the lab. You can see it over the top. It'll be sitting in the mountain behind it, or some other way. Change the paintings in my resource pack, maybe something like that would be really, really cool. So definitely gonna do something like that. Now let's get to next week's question, or the question for you guys for next week's, and that is from Koala N. What is your biggest pet peeve? And I want pet peeves that are not really related to gaming. Oh, I mean, they could be, but I want to hear things that aren't just related to YouTube or watching a YouTuber. Or I hate when a YouTuber, crafts things wrong, or, tries to do flint and steel the wrong way or whatever. No, I want to hear a real pet peeve in real life. So let me know what your pet peeves are. Now, before we get to the questions from me, I want to remind you to leave your questions in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. Now on to the questions, and this is not really a question, but I just loved it because this has like become a common thing on channels. I've seen it a lot in my comments, and it's from Ninja Gamer. It says, guys, let's start a comment chain for a story, and this happens a lot lately. It's really, really popular, and it's once upon a time, Kevin and Lego Man ends the story with one word: exploded. That's an awesome story, guys. Now we are getting into a fairly common question, and it is about the core. And yes, the core is shutting down. I was notified last week when you guys were. And, people ask how I feel about it, what I'm going to do. Well, as you guys know, I don't play a lot of multiplayer on my channel at all, really. I mean, other than Ask Think backgrounds occasionally, I really don't do a lot of multiplayer. All my series are single player, and we've got 1 or 2 per day. Lately with Diversity and Spore, we're getting up to 3 per day, which I think is a little too much, but once Diversity is over and Spore eventually comes to an end, we'll be back to normal. But, there are a lot of things going on with the core, and all of it mostly boils down to just development issues. Also with Bucket in sort of a strange situation with 1.8. We don't really know what's going to happen with Bucket for any multiplayer servers, and it seemed to be an endless loop with the developers when they would fix something on the core, and there weren't a lot of them. When they would fix something on the core, it would break something else, and then they go and fix that, and it would break something else, and nothing ever really worked 100%. And it just became cyclical and tiring, and they couldn't manage to attract any new developers because with the EULA changes and everything, there wasn't a ton of money around to go to pay developers. So, you're asking people to dedicate their time for free, and programmers generally earn money for development. So they made the decision to close down and let me know this week. What'll happen is, as far as finding me on servers and stuff, follow me on Twitter. That's where I always, if I ever am going to go play multiplayer for Ask Think backgrounds or for anything else, I always send a tweet out with the server IP that I'm going to use. So just follow me on Twitter and you'll still be able to find me as always. Now, another sort of housekeeping issue was with my 400,000 giveaway. Now, I have not sent out, I have selected the winners. I have not sent anything out yet because I'm sort of waiting for this to die down. As you guys can see on screen right now, there is this Thinknoodles sent you a message. If you guys got a message from me saying you won something and to claim your prize, you have to complete an offer or anything like that, don't don't. And if you ever see anything that says it's from me, and right now that one has a triangle because I worked with my partner manager to get that account deleted from YouTube so that it would not show my avatar. It used to have my avatar, but you guys can see it has the Think Space Noodles. It doesn't have the check mark after it. But basically, if it doesn't even say Noodle on at the end, so this guy is awful. But basically what happened is, and this happened a time before when I gave something away, and I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to do this. I'm gonna look at paying for an account to run raffles and things like that. That is more secure and can't be sort of faked like this. This is really annoying to me, that someone would take advantage of something nice that I wanted to do for you guys and try and make money for themselves. Don't worry if you did click on it and complete an offer. You didn't get a virus or anything. That guy just, you know, made $1 from you doing what you did. And I am so sorry that this happened to you guys. It didn't even occur to me the first time it happened, and then I did another giveaway, and I remember mentioning it. I said, if you get an email that says I'm asking you to do something, don't believe it. It's not me. And they didn't do it that time, and then I forgot this time to mention that in the video. But for the future, for all of you guys that watch this, if you ever get a message from me that says, you're a winner, just do this first, wrong. The email will be from me, and it will just, or, you know, it'll be a YouTube message, and it'll just say right here, you know, just, you know, give me your address or whatever. Just respond to this message. I'll never make you click a link to, like, you know, to verify or authorize or anything like that. Not. And also, whenever you get a message from me or claiming to be me, you see the Think Noodles that's in blue, click it. Click that, and if it doesn't go directly to my channel, it's not me. And then just click the report spam at the bottom and say it's someone impersonating me. Really sorry about that. But to those guys who got or who won, I'm gonna wait until next week so that these old emails sort of fall away in the inboxes, and then you'll get the correct one. So next week, winners will go out, and I'll announce them who they are in next week's Ask Think. Now, Music for Think Noodles has an idea for this series, and it says to, instead of answering questions all scattered, put them in sections. And I don't know if you've ever noticed or if you've ever watched the raw recordings, but I sort of number these together in categories, kind of. Like the regular questions about me and important things are questions like Q1 through Q20. And then, you know, Minecraft related questions are always in the 70s and 80s and sort of like that. So I do them in categories, although you guys might not exactly, it might not always make sense, but it makes sense in my head. Webkin's TV show asks, how do you choose the comments to put on Ask Think? Do you choose them yourself, or do you have a computer choose? No, I definitely choose them myself. If I had a computer choose, it would just choose random questions that really maybe had been asked before, maybe weren't really that great of a question for the video or anything like that. So I go through the comments one by one, clicking the thumbs up button on every comment that I see, and then taking screenshots of the ones I want to answer. Rav K asks, have you ever bumped into someone in New York City? If so, how did it go? Whenever I bump into someone, they say mean words. Do you mean just today? Because I've only been out. Yeah, I actually did bump into 2 people, and I was only out for about 20 minutes this morning. New York City is a pretty crowded place, as you might have guessed. So pretty much, I mean, depending on the time of day and what street you're walking on, you could probably get away without bumping into anyone, but it happens a lot. And we are all used to it, and we don't say mean words unless the person is running out of control or hits you with a bike or a car. Then you start saying mean words. The last time someone ran into me, like literally sprinting, knocked me down, was about 2 years ago around Christmas time. I was pretty upset. Yeah, and a lot of people were upset at that guy. They were, you know, even the cops were pretty upset at him. But anyway, just because there's police officers everywhere, it's not like he got arrested or anything, but they told the guy he better slow down. Anyway, yeah. MC Bunnies Are Cute asks, who do you like to watch the most on YouTube? Well, I don't know if you guys know this or anybody really talks about this, but I know it's true for most of the people that I know. We don't have, and I'm talking about other YouTubers, we don't don't have a lot of time to watch other people on YouTube. I wish that I did, that I could just sit back and watch an hour or two of videos, but really don't have the time for each day. You know, most of the time I'm recording. Actually, that's not even true. Recording is probably, well, other than ThinkSlab, probably the shortest part of your YouTube job. Most of the time is spent editing and uploading and making thumbnails and things like that. But as far as, you know, day to day, I really don't have a ton of time to dedicate to watching other people's videos. I'd have to say, let's see, the last person I watched. Let's see, what was the last video I watched? It was probably one of Dan's videos. Oh, wait, was it? Or maybe James. I don't know. The ones that I do watch are the Pixel Core videos. I usually watch those, or, you know, when there's something, maybe I go on to the Pixel Core, I'm like, wait, where'd that come from? So I'll go back and look at James' videos, I go back and look at Dan's videos, oh, okay, he made that. Or if I've done a prank on someone, I watch their reaction, that sort of thing. But, you know, I really don't have a ton of time. Eric F. asks, dear Thing, have you gotten pulled over by the police or gotten a ticket? Oh, yes. When I was in college, I wasn't dangerous, but I didn't like to follow the speed limit much. So I would always drive, you know, the speed limit was like 50 or 55, and I would go 75 and get tickets all the time because I was careless and young. The Glowstone Kid says, Think, how do you come up with these kind of videos like ThinkSlab or Ask Think? Well, Ask Think, I just came up with the idea because there were a lot of questions being asked over and over, and I was like, you know what, let me just address all of those in one video, and it'll be all in one place, and people can go there and look at it, and then you guys really liked it, and it just sort of became a weekly thing. As far as ThinkSlab, I mean, I came up with the idea from my 1.8 snapshot adventure, when I started doing little features and sort of like magical things with vanilla Minecraft. I was like, you know, this is really fun for me to set up this adventure and sort of go through it as if I don't know what's going on, sort of acting a little bit. And it was really fun. And I was like, man, I could do a mod review series like this. And then I came up with the idea of the lab filled with minions, and it turned into what it is now. Smiley Freak asks, wow, Think, your ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is so close to 1 million views. My question is, how many views in total do you have on your channel? Good luck counting them all. Actually, the Ice Bucket Challenge video and the first video in the Ask Think playlist both went over 1 million views each this week. Amazing. I can't believe it. I even think the first video, the camping trip one, is at like a 1.1 million already. So that is incredible. And as far as how many views in total I have, it's 107.5 million views, and it's pretty easy for me to count. All I have to do is pull up my channel page, and as it is my page, I can see right there at the top how many views I have. Marshall Johnson asks, how do you deal with eye strain? Well, I do spend a lot of time in front of the computer every single day, and I do have eye strain by the end of the day if I don't wear my Gunner's optics. And they're these little computer glasses. They have a slight magnification, and they're yellow tinted, so it helps with the LCD colors being a little bit harsh on the eyes, and also helps with eye strain because it keeps your eyes from getting dry. Ethan Lee asks, hi Think, what kind of pillow do you like or sleep on? Soft, hard, feather, memory foam, etc. My wife uses a feather pillow, and I sometimes sleep on that because she's not home all the time. But other times when she is home, I sleep on my memory foam pillow. Leafs Boy 11 asks, Think, what subject in school did you hate? I really never liked English. And not English as in, you know, speaking English. I mean English as in reading and doing book reports and writing essays and things like that. I never really liked that. I was always into sciences and math. Key Lime Gaming asks, what is your favorite subreddit other than /r/Minecraft? Yes, you're that predictable. Okay, true, you got me. My second favorite subreddit is /r/Redstone. Gabriel Hill asks, Think, at what time do you usually wake up on a day you won't publish any videos? I guess that would be considered a day off. And if I have a day off, I usually sleep in until about 7. CJI asks, is Kopi good around cats? Well, if you mean good at chasing them, then yes, she is. Lillian Kalia asks, would it be copyright if I mentioned you in one of my videos? And if so, would it be okay with you? I just want to mention my favorite YouTuber, my fans, user edit some of your ideas and just tell them how great you are. Of course not. That is not copyright at all. What copyright infringement would be if you took a segment of my video with my voice in it, then it would be copyright infringement because that is my creation. But if you're just mentioning me or, building something that looks like my treehouse or something like that, absolutely not. You're fully free to do that, and I encourage it. Widgie6 asks, what are the 3 top hardest videos you have ever made? Well, I would say they're all my Thinks Labs videos. Those are very, very difficult and challenging to make. Every single one challenges me. There's not a single Thinks Lab video where I'm like, yeah, that was easy. Whip it out. No, always a challenge. And I would say that this most recent one, the Skelebrin one, that intro was probably the hardest scene I've ever made, just because it took that almost 3 minute scene. Took me almost an hour to record. It was about 52 minutes of recording to get it right, to get the skeleton to do what I wanted, to make it go into the hopper with the bone and all of that stuff, to get that all together. Yeah, it was about 50 to 55 minutes of recording. And then to edit it all, get it all placed properly, put the music, find the music, that was another 2 hours. So that 3 minute scene was about 3 hours of recording and editing. Green Goes says, hey, think on Spore, when you get to the space stage, are you going to beat the whole space stage? I don't know. I've heard from nearly everyone who's played the game, including people in the comments, other YouTubers, everyone I know, that the space stage is repetitive and boring and may not go well in video. So I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Nurse Guy 55 Stir says, is Thinks Lab on the Noodle Planet map? No. The Noodle Planet map is unmodded, first of all, and it is also 1.8, as you guys know. And Thinks Lab is a modded series, which is usually on 1.6 or 1.7. So no, they are on completely separate maps. Koala N asks, why doesn't Speedy Gonzalez burn on the Noodle Planet? And Cinnamon Toast makes a good point that he has a helmet, but no, that's actually not it. If you notice, his little friend that runs around behind him does not have a helmet. And the reason that Speedy Gonzalez does not burn in the sun is because baby zombies don't burn in the sun. Backwards Girl asks, hey, I think my question is, how did you make Skelebrin talk? Or was that you with editing or someone else? It was me with some voice modification. Keegan McDonald asks, how did you get the banners in Thinks Lab Extermination? Those are from custom NPCs. Aeroisticon asks, hey, Think, do you prefer modded or vanilla? I personally think too many mods remove the Minecraft feel from the game, but that's just me. It depends. Crazycraft has 70 mods or something like that, and I don't think it has removed the Minecraft feel from the game, but it definitely has changed it into a game that I could call something else, just Crazycraft. I don't even have to say Minecraft Crazycraft because it really is different, so I do get what you're saying. But I can't say that I prefer one over the other. I really love vanilla, and I love that I want to do certain things with vanilla, but for me to do it, I really have to rack my brain and think creatively, like, okay, how could I do this? I'm very limited in what I can do because I can't add mods, but I want to do this, and I can really be creative with it. Isabella Yang asks, Think, how are the minions voiced? I know you use clips from the movies, but it sounds like sometimes you voice them but speed them up or adjust the sound. I might be wrong. Well, some of the clips I have downloaded as free sound effects, but a lot of the stuff, more recently, even more and more, it is my own voice with voice modification. Enderman1357 asks, Think, how do you make books by fake players? Okay, so what you need to do is you need to get an application, and it's both for Mac and PC. It's called NBT Edit. And then what you need to do is, in the world that you are in, write the book as yourself. Go ahead and write everything in it. And then keep it in your inventory, save the world, and then go into the NBT editor, open up your level.dat, and then go into your inventory, and then you can change the author. More Random Swag asks, do you know how to get mod updates? Does it happen automatically or do you reinstall it? Well, you have to reinstall it. Every time a new version comes out, you have to reinstall it. Some of the mods actually have checks that will go and see if there's a new version, and it'll alert you in your console, but you really have to just keep an eye on it yourself. And I think that's something that maybe Microsoft could add to Minecraft if they do eventually put in a mod API or plugin API, that it could have auto updates. Nicole M asks a question that there was a lot of, and this is actually on the Thinks Lab episode, but I'm putting it on Ask Think because it was asked so often. It was, where did you get the diamond skirt? And that is part of the custom NPCs mod. There's also a chain skirt, an iron skirt, even like a cow leather one. Yeah, I was just looking for diamond armor, and I was like, whoa, this will be funny. So I stuck it in there. Sydney02 asks, if two witches were watching two watches, which would watch which watch? Wow, that is so hard to read. Real Alexis 0900 asks, what's the most important meal of the day? And I say to you, any meal with noodles. All right, guys, that's it for this week's Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and of course, noodle on!